Our next speaker is a great example of what kind of companies we work with in Deeptech Alliance. I think it was 2 years ago, actually. ExoMatter was part of a manufacturing program, if I remember correctly. Take it away. This is about materials, by the way. So this is very interesting.
Thank you very much for having us and also for bringing the good weather with you. So the future is built from better materials. Are you ready for that? So we have already heard why that is important in some from some speakers before. So let me give you just a brief overview. It's important due to new regulations coming up from the government, for example, carbon emission reduction, going along with certificates, and also higher need for sustainability, also coming from the government, but also from customers. And why is it also demanded to be prepared? It's due to the supply chain risk, due to geopolitical tensions, also to the climate crisis. And there are so many reasons so many risks that can address supply chains. And also these things are all interconnected. So there's an ongoing innovation pressure due to all these circumstances and also due to increased speed in the whole world and the whole competition. So before we can build the future, we need the right materials. And how's that? So 10 to the power of 60. This is the number of possible materials. No, this is the number of stars in the universe, sorry. And it is the actual number that is known, but it might be even larger. And it means that it's also larger than the number of stars in the universe. So one can imagine if there are so many possibilities for materials combinations, it is really hard to find the best ones fitting your products. So what are the pain points of materials R&D? Usually, R&D departments are walking on the beaten tracks. So the beaten track is not good for being innovative. And it's also heavy with literature research and really much going along with trial and error. It's really time intensive for the R&D teams. Usually it takes up years to get to a result. And this is also resource intensive for human capital and also for materials resources that are burned along the way to find the best fitting materials. And usually for most decisions, experts are needed. So how can we unlock the future of materials? ExoMatter can be a solution for that. And now I'm showing you who we are, just a little bit about the team before we are digging into the solution. So we are a Munich-based startup, now 3 years old, founded in 2022 with a huge degree of expertise with a PhD in physics and chemistry and also material science in the team. And we are in the origin, we are a spin-off from the German Aerospace Center. So how does it work? Whether you need new materials, completely innovative ones, or you want to substitute existing ones, we have you covered for that. So ExoMatter is a platform that has an intuitive property search, so you can individualize your search. You can, for example, go for the attributes that are most important to you, be it the cost or carbon footprint reduction, or classical attributes coming from the categories of physics and chemistry, and also mechanical properties. You can all put them to the software and individualize them how you need it. It's also possible to exclude certain materials, for example, rare earth materials or conflicted materials, or some materials that are now regulated and to be excluded for your upcoming product. And this software allows them to do a custom reaction simulation instead of that you need to do all these simulations in the laboratory. And the platform is made from material scientists for material scientists. And if you are using the product, our material scientists are also walking you along the way. So they're helping you and giving you our expertise to you and to your company or into your research department in an institute. So a little bit more deeper, as I explained before, the individualized search goes along with the fact that it's easy to handle. If you are a material scientist, it's good, but it's not necessary. You don't need to be a materials expert to use the platform. The simulation of reactions is the second part. And then built on your preferences, there will be a smart rating of all the properties you put in. And you will receive a list of materials with smart rating of all these criteria. So this is the so-called ExoMatter score. And you don't have the issue of information overload like you usually would have. And if you say, okay, there's still too many results, you can also refine your search. And you can also see whether there are already some patents and literature out there. And yeah, of course, you can save your results to have them for the future. So yeah, in a nutshell, ExoMatter is based on a ready-to-use data set, which uses existing scientific databases, consolidates them, and they are normalized by our scientists. It's enriched with the latest technology, with AI and machine learning algorithms that are used by our team and leveraged by our team. So this enables holistic decision-making for your material decision. So some examples for impact and action where we already are used from customers. I don't name the customers, but in the end, I will show you some examples of customers that are already working with us. So this is one example where a major electrical appliance manufacturer, which is international but has a branch in Germany, discovered new innovative materials to better insulate their refrigerators. And at the same time, they were also able to improve their energy efficiency. So another example is coming from the sustainability part, a reduction in carbon footprint emissions in the construction industry, where they were able to reduce the carbon footprint by 80% by adding CO2 absorbing material components in their products. So, and another example, which is really important, is the cost of, is coming from the cost side, from a battery manufacturer that needed to identify a material for having a more lightweight battery that is still energy dense. So maybe also an important thing for the other example we had before. So this led to cost savings in the production and also for the product logistics. So to sum this up, with ExoMatter, it's possible to get faster results in the R&D process. So in the end, also faster time to market, which can be a competitive advantage. So also less costs in the research process and also for the product development by finding more cost-effective materials, and also possible reduction in CO2 emissions. And it also enables teams, R&D teams, to focus more on what really matters and not for searching material lists and taking so much time for finding good materials they might test in the laboratory. So this is also a snapshot of our customers. There might be some names that you're already familiar with Infineon, Bosch Siemens, German Aerospace Center, where we are a spin-off from, Airbus, Audi, Carbion, and Synhelion. And with this, I thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.
Thank you. We have time for one question, Katharina.
Okay, thank you. Interesting. Can you also automate running things like molecular dynamics or quantum chemistry packages?
What's the question? Which?
So can you automate something like backbone electronic structure calculations or quantum chemistry calculations, or is it?
So it's of course automation of calculations, but which specific ones that are possible, that is something I need to clarify with our material scientists, because I'm coming from the business side and I'm not into this field.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Great. I think we stop there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.